I finally have time to sit down and listen to the new Architects album. I've obviously heard a couple songs already and done reactions for them, so I'll slice them in as we go along. And I've liked what I've heard so far. I'm liking the kind of modern, more mainstream area they're experimenting with, so I'm excited to see what the next set of songs are like from that record. So the first song on the album is called Deep Fake, which I've already done a reaction to, and I'll slice that in here. Okay. Oh, that's a meaty guitar rip. Reminds me of something else. What is it? Oh. Bit of a siren in the background. We wanna swim the deepest depths in much more electronic vibe to their latest songs. He's leaning into the eyeliner. Lovely rounded kick drum. There's a kind of synthy orchestra layer. Ooh, that chord. Full sound. I like that the chord changes, not on the downbeat. Ooh, hello. Didn't know he screamed. Ooh, I felt like that was going to go big, but then they took it back down again. Lovely slam there in that punchy fill. Nice. Change up the rhythm of the vocals there. Bending up. Ooh. It's a digital bass sound, but I like it. Triggering some snare sounds. What we got? Deep fake. Slower than I expected. Oh my god. Nice. Whoa! I wasn't ready for that. We see the cards and we go to fold. We play along but it soon grows old. We took the arc and sold it off the parts. They got a face full of fucking gold. They're not afraid to let that snare hang out. Really slow tempo in this. There it goes. No! Oh, that's a really low note thrown in there. I love that silent gap. Deep fake. Okay. Well, that was intense. Gosh, what to make of that? So, mixture of things. Overall, if for the first half of that song, it's like, this is nice. I like this. Got some good chord progressions. Got some meat to it. Drums are fat. It's got some nice melodies. But it didn't rise above my expectation of Architects, other than an additional amount of kind of electronic sounds in there than they've done in the past. I'm adding a little bit more of those layerings in, which I am here for, because it adds more possibility to the sounds that they can produce in their songs, and then that can lead to some more unique songs for them in the future, potentially. And what was interesting about this one, though, is that the low, heavy sounds they were getting out of their kind of bass and guitar moments almost sounded like they were kind of digitally created in a lab. That kind of low, consistent frequency of warbling might have been like a kind of keyboard synth layer that supported whatever the bass was doing or the guitarist at the time. And I really liked that because it tests the limits of your headphones and the speakers as to how it delivers that kind of low bassy brrr noises, which I liked because it adds some heaviness to the kind of breakdown moments. And the gap, this precision slice of total silence that happened twice in that song, as far as I could tell, unless it was 3 times. I love a gap. I don't know what it is. An unexpected surprise like that. It's like a palate cleanser for the ears when you have that gap and then the music comes back in, which is nice. Sam, the vocalist, did a lot more kind of melodic singing in the last couple of records than in previous, to my ears. And he's got this sort of like gentle, high, falsetto-y kind of thing he does, which sometimes can be a little bit annoying, but he nursed it into this one in a couple little places of the melody. I thought that was done quite well. It's a little bit too much of that, and I don't think it has as much power as I like, personally, my own preferences and vocals, stylings and the rest. But that was great. I wasn't paying attention to the lyrics, something about deep fake, obviously that's the name of the song. I'm sure they're all about how the world is ending in terrible ways, but it was solid overall. I like me some Architects. I like mainstream rock as well. And so where they're going and they're getting kind of more mainstream, I'm here for it. I kind of like it. I like some devastating, heavy, awfulness as well. Not quite to the level of deathcore or like black metal, but somewhere in that line is where I like to be. And Architects fill that void quite nicely. I enjoyed that. I thought it was a great song, and certainly one that I think I'll enjoy having on repeat. I think there's, I can't wait to be familiar with when those gaps are coming and be able to anticipate them, see what that feels like. But on first listen, it had enough surprises and some interesting sonic moments in there that I thought was pretty sweet. I liked it. Next up is Tear Gas, another one I've also done a reaction for already, so I'll line that up now. Okay. We have a theme. I mean are we going Electric Cowboy on this? With the mullets? What the hell?
Oh, look at that. Oh, ridiculous. Look at him now. We're busy.
Okay. This is a turn for them.
They're trying.
Oh, someone fix it.
I don't know how. What the?
Okay. Oh, that's really nice. Industrial grinded riff. This is some Rammstein shit. I am absolutely living for that. Okay. Synthy key. Vocal change in the production. Oh shit! This is incredible. He likes to switch up his vocal delivery like that with a spoken yeah there. This is strong. Oh, that chord change was amazing. Warm and full. This is very mainstream, which I'm totally good with. God damn that riff. Yeah. Damn. Those are very popular kind of chord bands these days, but I don't get sick of them. This is a bit of a masterpiece. This is really well put together. I don't know why they went for a comic video, but... Ooh. Double time? Did not see that coming. Oh, The low frequency in this is massive. The bass just... really nicely knit together. Vocals slightly over each other in that transition. Okay, the song lives or dies by this next section. So good so far. Does have a bit of an alarm sound to it, that note. Oh, it's jumped twice. Less gaps in the guitar riff here. Woo. Offbeat crash. Nice. Subtle disco beat. Yeah. This is a very complete song. Architects looking to go to the next level. Catchy. Oh, done half the beat. That ride cymbal on the belt. I mean, that was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant. I loved their most recent release before that, when we were young. I thought that was great. It was solid, but it wasn't like earth-shattering, you know, game-changing kind of stuff. This had such a massive sound to it, but also that chorus, there's something mainstream enough about that I think the radio station would be like, oh, let's play that song on whatever channel. Like it had, you know, the kind of friendly face of rock sound, and it had that sort of slow beat that wasn't over complex. The riffs weren't overly complex as well, for the, you know, that kind of Rammstein edge that gets into people's skin. You just can't help but grind along with it. Fantastic. And the song itself was good. The melodies I found interesting. The chorus was hooky. The synth layers in there were kind of nice little touches. It wasn't overbearing. It wasn't like too much. It wasn't too little. It was so well mixed and put together. God damn, what a song. Yeah, that was, I described it as a very complete song, which, I mean, you could say all songs are complete when they're recorded. But what I meant by that was that had everything really well ironed out in the kind of orchestration, the writing of the song, the production, the mix, the pacing of it. Enough little surprises in there to make you go, oh, I've not heard, I didn't expect that to come. So it wasn't completely generic like you might expect from a mainstream pop rock kind of twist to Architects. Yeah, it was great. That was really, really nicely done. I'm really surprised by the video, because normally their videos are pretty like intense and epic and serious. I don't think I've ever seen them do a comic video before. So that was an interesting choice. I wonder what, I'd love to find out what inspired them to do that, because that is quite a shift for them. I don't know, maybe they like the way that Foo Fighters did some funny videos, but you know, cracking rock songs alongside them. Maybe they thought they want some of that action. I don't know. But I didn't hate it. I thought it was funny. Places, I enjoyed that. It was large scale and epic. Yeah. Fuck yeah, Architects. Good shit. Well done. I like that a whole bunch. Tear Gas. Great song. Fantastic. And now a song called Spit the Bone, which I've not heard yet. So let's see what this is like. It's only 3.5 minutes long. In and out. Let's see what it's got. And go. Okay, long build. I like the way those notes progressed. Okay, I like this. What, 12/4 swing? Very gentle vocal performance there. I like that kick on the every beat. Interesting. Bit of fatness added with some extra guitar. Oof. Woo! Lovely drum fill. Interesting. Old school garbage kind of feel to that. This is a weird thing to say, but it's almost as if Architects did a American Idiot kind of album. That's the crosshairs I'm sort of hearing in this. People are going to hate me for that. But this is like their holiday. I'm loving the low, synthy sort of bass sound in there. That.
If you're gonna burn that bridge, then you better learn to paddle.
It's very Don Brocco, isn't it?
Read my lips if you're deafened by the rattle. If you chew it up, don't forget to spread the
Did he burp that word? Interesting.
forget to spread the
It's got a groove I'm enjoying, but it's sort of holding back. It's really controlled.
then you better learn to paddle.
I like it a lot.
You don't saw you when you put the ball. Read my
But it's not like metal.
If you're deafened by the rattle, if you chew it up, don't forget to spread the
Love the punchy hits on that drum fill. Simple but effective. The note choices as that chord progresses, it's almost like Muse.
Now we're all cannibals.
Okay, that was a delightful pop rock song. in my view, it had some. The heaviness within that is the beefiness of the low notes from kind of the bass and the synth and stuff that gives it a lovely full sound. It's not dissimilar from the other new songs that I've already reacted to. The kind of slow pace, grinding, almost Rammstein-y sort of feel to it. Moments where it sounded like Don Brocco, which like that's not the worst thing in the world. I'm not a big Don Brocco fan, but it's more like their vibe as musicians is not really, like, as a band identity is not something that I particularly gravitate to. But musically, there's some warmth to it. Yeah, it was very controlled. It was like, you know, we're making a statement. We're going to house it through this kind of well-rounded, sort of groovy, catchy song, and it was right. I mean, I liked it a lot because I don't mind a bit of kind of mainstream pop rock sound. I'm sure some people were not necessarily going to love that if they're old school Architects fans, but you know, they're allowed to experiment, try new things. I think I'm going to like that one more the more I hear it as well. It's kind of easy listening, which I know they're not really going for, but that's kind of how that is for me. All right, I'm excited to get into another one here. This is going to be Burn Down My House. I mean, the title suggests this might be a bit more intensity. We'll see. And go.
Burn down my house. I'll blame myself and no one else. Heart in
Notes keep going down on the guitar. And again.
Racing down about my house. Burn down
This reminds me of something else. Oh, that's gonna kill me. Bit of 9 Inch Nails. That's quite beautiful. Same note again. Trilling down. Lovely. It's quite gorgeous. This is their Boulevard of Broken Dreams, is what this is. I gotta stop drawing those comparisons, but that's kind of what I'm feeling from this record. They're knitting a lyrical argument throughout the record, and the music is brought in to support it. It's not really music first, is how it feels. Again, there's a kind of muse element to the musical progression in this. I like the sound of that bass guitar, man. That is nice. That's a really nice melody. Subtle bit of synth in the background of this, supporting the atmosphere. A little bit of background vocals as a sort of musical instrument out of here. And some like xylophone bell stuff. Drums could not be simpler. We'll open eye out in there, that's about it. Really moody. A haunting, repeated melody there. Again? Huh! Well, that was quite beautiful as a song. I think that was well written. It had a satisfying vocal melody hook. They're kind of hitting those big high notes, not massively high, but like the highest notes of the kind of melody. We'd go and engage that, and then he'd kind of trill down and go back up to the same one. I enjoyed that. I thought it was really nice. A very moody song, slow paced, simple on the drums, simple on the bass for the most part. Just kind of had a trudgy slowness to it, which was a really, not like a happy, like great atmosphere, but like it was a very impressive atmosphere that they created with the soundscape in that particular song, and I enjoyed it for what it was. Again, what's kind of mad is the song before that had a sort of swung Holiday from Green Day's American Idiot feel to it, and this one was like a Boulevard of Broken Dreams sort of vibe to it, which is only supporting my thinking this is more like it's a lyrically driven record. It sounds to my own personal interpretation, as it were, that music is written around it to kind of support that. It doesn't feel like they're trying to do as many unusual creative things in the musical instrumentation that they did on older records, like let's just make an insanely heavy riff or like really complex kind of pattern work, and then we'll find a way for vocals to support that and make some messages. It's sort of, these are simple comfortable pop rock or even just pop song structures with the musical instrumentation is not the shining thing. It's sort of the mood, or it's the vocal journey you took on. So that's really interesting. I liked that. I thought it was a good song. You know, it's I don't know. Yeah, if you're in a macabre, that's not the right word, is it? Melancholy state of mind. Seems like an ideal song for that. Okay, next. Still waiting for the metal. What we got? Living is Killing Us. Okay. So, you know, that sounds like an intense title. Let's see what the songs are like. And go! Bit more of a guitar riff here. Oh, it's fat! A little bit of a siren call in the background. Oh, nice. Synthetic percussion layer on there as well. Ooh, like what he's doing with the hi-hat. Yeah, a lot of reverb on that vocal. Love the gap. Love going down chord-wise. Great delivery, nice lyric, punchy. I'm loving the fuzziness of the guitar distortion. Yeah. The hi-hat on the offbeat. That's good. Good is subjective. I like it.
Take the stand.
Ooh.
God knows that there is nothing else you can do. We can gather a firebrand.
The hi-hats. They really make this. Oh, it's so fat when it kicks in. Because it's so stripped back in the verses, it really hits the chorus. Lovely. Oh, that chord was a surprise. Whoa, hello. Going deeper. Back up a bit. Moody chord. Everything else is swelling up. The vocals are getting quieter in it. The bass really supports the fullness of that sound. Yeah, the rolling nature of those notes. Nice. I like the choice of having that just be the vocal layers at the end there. Another kind of slow-paced, moody, sort of pop rock song. That had a little bit more oomph and fire and interest to it for my ears. I really liked what the hi-hats were doing on the drums. And that's a specific point, but they were adding a little bit of a feel to it. It wasn't just straight beat like a lot of the new songs are. That little bit on the hi-hat, sometimes it was an offbeat open hi-hat, which had a little bit more of a kind of, oh yeah, disco ska feel to it. That's a stretch. But the sort of, yeah, the 16th decorations on that, I think gave it a little bit of interest where otherwise it might be not that wildly different from the other newer songs that they put out. So yeah, I mean, it's really nice. I mean, it's certainly nice is so beige, but it's kind of the songs I've heard today off the record that I've not previously done a reaction to, that is my favorite one. I think it's got some lyrical points that really stand out, vocal deliveries that stand out, melodies are great, some really moody, interesting changes of chords in the guitars. So it was kind of surprising. It's consistent sonically with the other songs off the album. So they're clearly, that's the mode that they're in, that's what they're experimenting with, and they're just changing the melodies and changing a little bit of the song structure here and there, and some minor points of the fills. But other than Burn Down My House, which was really slow and really moody atmosphere, the other ones are kind of in a similar sort of vein, right? I mean, Up Next is one I've already reacted to, When We Were Young, which is a little bit more like upbeat and fiery, right? So that's quite different, but I think it needs that, because otherwise it's starting to get a little bit similar between the new songs at this stage. But I thought that was a good one. It was a good song. It was well written. It's just really, there's some minor points in there that really differentiates it. There's some minor points in there that really differentiate it from some of the other songs, but otherwise it's a very, very cohesive record. All right, so next up is When We Were Young, which I've already reacted to previously. I'll play that for you now. Here. Okay, a live video. Or not. That's a delicious riff. See-through drum kit. Very nice. I like what that lead guitar is doing. So it's an original. Very strong chorus. Woo! Yes! Very satisfying riff. Nice note. Very satisfying sound. Like the open hi-hats. There's a kind of keyboard or synthy layer or orchestra. Hard to tell.
Is there something in your eye? Did you follow or you just on a high? Everybody's so afraid they could die, but they never once said, thank God we're alive. Oh!
Ooh. Bit of funkiness.
Is there something in your
Nice.
eye? Did you
Note
follow or
progression.
you just on a high? Everybody's so afraid they could die.
Additional crowd vocals. Nice. The bass is quite meaty. Really full soundscape. Leading with the snare now. He did a good job of tracking where the camera is all the time with his face. The vocalist sound. Yeah. Woo. So casual at the end. Yep, the song's done. Did my job. Well, that was tasty, was it not? So Architects, when I first heard them many years ago, I was like, I don't know, that vocal scream style he has is a little bit hard to kind of get into. There's a shrillness to it. It took me a while to kind of come around to it. And a lot of their songs back then were super heavy and progressive and complex. And they're getting more and more what you might call mainstream, which it gets a dirty rap. Dirty rap? Gets a dirty name? Gets a bad rap? Both of those things. But I like it. I don't mind a bit of mainstream music. I like pop music as well as like heavy rock. So when those things combine, I'm very pleased. And this has that, right? As I go into the future of their band, they're doing much more kind of palatable music for people who aren't normally listening to the very heavy rock stuff. So there's enough with the scream, there's some heaviness, there's some riffs and drums, there's some breakdown moments, but the chorus, anyone can sink their teeth in that and be like, that's very nice. That's the key. So the songwriting there was fantastic to have those moments, but also have enough interest in what the lead guitar is doing and the drums, and the bass sound it just added this fullness to the whole thing in the chorus. And when it came back in after the sort of breakdown, yeah, tasty is the word for it. Really great guitar riff with the stops in it. I love some stops. Kind of gives you a bit of that bounce. Open hi-hats to kind of help you lock in your head on the off beats as you come in for the chorus bit. That was great. Overall, a very solid song. You know, for me and my taste, I'm excited about the more mainstream future that they're kind of driving into. So I'm looking forward to maybe more songs like that, but hopefully also some heaviness. You can't lose all the heaviness. So, great job, Architects. That was a fantastic song. I very much enjoyed it. And now another new song that I've not heard before. This is called Doomscrolling. 4 minutes, 21 seconds. And go.
No betting on tomorrow, but we all have a tragedy. Come drown in our sorrow.
Another song that's led with vocal and guitar on its own. A couple of them so far on this record.
Delete another day, doomscrolling, shopping.
Upbeat, funky groove. Bit of synth, keyboard work. Another song with a bit of 16ths on the hi-hats, giving it a bit more of a flair. Not a straight snare placement. Some difference there. Okay. Stomp and clap. Looks like digitally. And then maybe this is too early to call, but this sounds like this album's Meteor. There's a catchiness to the vocals. Changing up the feel of the section because of the drums there. It's the stomp clap moment, but an extra layer has been added. Adds a bit more intensity. Upbeat chorus, funky groove. The repeated melodies add to the catchiness, hooks you in. The downside is it can be a little predictable. You know what's coming melodically. Interesting bass sound there. A lot of production on that. It's like held down. They love a moment like this in their recent songs, don't they? Something about that melody at the end reminds me of something else. Can't place it. That was a lovely pause. I feel like Bring Me the Horizon has been a moment that's melodically like that. Maybe the song Doomed by Bring Me the Horizon, there's moments like that in it. Ooh. Yikes. Twisted the notes down there. That's surprising. I guess that must go straight into the next song. Otherwise, that's a very unusual end. Okay, that was another nice song. Here's the thing I just thought of towards the end of that track. Any one of these songs, if it's the only song that I'd heard off the new album, just by itself, I didn't have any context of any other songs, I'd be like, that was fucking great. Loved the melodies in that. It was great. It had a really cool sound to it. Had some nice fuzzy guitar in it. Moments where they kind of strip things down. It's like a kind of this eerie sort of high vocal from Sam Carter, where everything else is like atmospheric and moody. And it builds back up to the chorus again. Some rhythmic differences here and there in bits of the song. But the problem I'm having is that a lot of the songs on this record are doing the same kind of thing. So it's really hard for, you know, the next song like this one I just heard to stand out and really like find its own thing, because it's very, very cohesive. And I'd say cohesive is the nicest way I could put it, but the tone is kind of the same throughout most of the tracks, not all of them. When We Were Young was quite different. And sometimes that really works. Like sometimes it can still be quite different between the songs. So like North Lane's album that came out this year, not to compare people, but I'm about to compare people, that had the same sort of sonic soundscape for that record, and it was very cohesive within that world, track to track, but each song was quite different from each other. It really kind of stood out from each other structurally in terms of the songs, and also in terms of the sounds they were adding or grooves and things. So it's too early to say, you know. It's just a little bit more samey than maybe I would hope for my own personal interest. And what is though? It's nice. All the songs are good. They're all good. Like, I'd quite happily put this album on in the background, forget, and just loop it and be like, yeah, really nice vibe. So I'm interested to see if what we got now. There's 3 more songs that I heard before, 4 more songs on the record, and then see if we get some big changes or some intrigue that's different from what I've heard so far. So let's see. This next one is called Born Again Pessimist, and go. There's a slight difference to this already, which I'm happy about. The placement of that snare, it's unusual, I like it. Got a bit more intensity, energy. Nice. Almost dancey. Okay, this hits a little bit more than the other ones. Okay, cool. Interesting melody choice. Oh. Yeah. The notes on the guitar chords supporting this, very satisfying. This is great. I'm really liking this. bass is just so contained. Hello. Here you go. Well, interesting. The hi-hats are adding a little bit of interest, but almost like a small congo. What's that? Hitting like wooden cowbells? They're not wooden cowbells, it's not the right term, but you know, there's some kind of wooden blocks. So far, this is my favorite song of the ones I've not heard yet on this album. It's different, it's got energy. Vocally, it's sitting really nicely throughout. Oh, it's filthy. Another little kind of siren sound, and we'll bend down. Some screams! Yes! Cracking! Okay, we've doubled up that tempo. Oh, good to see the halftime coming back. Lovely long drum fill in that section there. Rammstein have entered the building again. Oh, I wanted to go another round of that outro bit there. That was fucking great. That is, I said it during the song, but that is my favorite of the new songs I've not heard yet on the record. That had energy. Like, and here's the thing. The other one, I can't remember what it's called now, but it sounded to me like the Meteor of this record from their previous one. It had energy to it, but somehow it still, it had pace to it. It was like a faster, more kind of a dynamic drum beat to it, but the energy was somehow subdued. It was kind of capped. Whereas this one, it had the same sort of upbeat energy, but actually let it out somehow. It was much more impactful, is the word I tend to use when describing things like this. It punched. And it wasn't punching just for the sake of like, oh, I'm going to try and be strong with hits and things. It actually like kind of grabbed you and made sense. What it was doing, what Sam was doing like vocally, rhythmically over the top of it was really well supported by the drum patterns and things. The guitars were filthy and fat with a little bit extra fatness somehow, I think, than from the other songs. I don't know how they managed that because it's kind of the same, again, soundscape they're using, but they've funneled it in a different direction. Had some scream vocals. God damn, took a while. But it reminds you like there's firepower that they're just not using in this record. And that's their prerogative, right? They want to do something different. They're fucking welcome to do so. It's their songs. Do what you like. But goddamn, the fucking fire they can unleash with his screams. I'd love to hear more of that. But that's me, you know, I'm listening to this obviously with my own preferences and biases, what I think is good from what they do. Well, that was great. That was fucking cool. Loved that. All right, the next song is A New Moral Low Ground, which I've already reacted to, and you can check that out now. Pensive.
I'll keep myself on a leash. If I were born to hang, then I'll never be drowned. A friend that knocked me down, I wanna shine, I was turning the trust.
Oh my god. Dirty sound from that bass. Looking hard though. Oh, sounds catchy. Nice. Pushing the beat too. Nice. Bass cuts out. Oh. Guys, this is good.
Why don't you stick around? It's just a game, but we live on the edge.
Come on.
We like that awareness.
It's got the pace of when we were young, but it's heavier.
When we're faced with the shade and the narrow.
It's on the guitars.
But that's the price that you pay for
Interesting vocal production on that. I like that. Oh, it's so catchy.
from the edge of your sanity. 3 strikes for the cavalry. You got me close to the bone.
No. Lovely little snare fill in there as well.
Waits for a taste of humanity.
Building up to that push note.
Try to stay. You got me close to the bone.
Whoa. Really slowed down.
Come pretty close to the bone.
Really taking the heat out of the song.
I'll keep myself on a leash. If I were born to hang, then I'll never be drowned.
Nice delicate vocal from him there. It's not too weak falsetto like he normally does. Interesting visuals. Okay, guitar solo. Are we going to go back to the previous tempo chorus? Or are we going to half-time it? The visuals remind me of Tool.
One love for your enemy. 2 steps from the edge of your
Full tempo.
3 strikes for the cavalry. You got me close to the bone.
Love.
Walls that you'll never see. 5 waits for a taste of humanity. 6 feet wanna try to stay. You got me close to the bone.
A keyboard layer in there towards the end, which I enjoyed. Stop. That was great. That was awesome. I was quite surprised that they went so stripped back and slow tempo in the after the second chorus, because that song had a lot of heat, firepower, fucking catchiness. It was like the tempo of When We Were Young, but it had a heavier overall sound because the guitar distortion, I think, when that was heavier. It was great. I fucking loved that, and I was like, for my own personal thing, a little let down by the after that second chorus, that section where it went. Really took all of the energy out of the song. I'm sure, I know they've done that on purpose, and they want to do something different, and I respect that. But yeah, wow, they really let it kind of hang out, like just slow, smooth rock. What I did is more, meaningful lyrics. I guess, when you strip out the rest of the music that's intense for moments like that, then the lyrics really shine through, and you can make some of your points, which they are want to do. So that's totally fine. I actually liked his vocal performance in the quieter moments. Previously, his kind of falsetto for me is a little bit on the weak side. I think falsetto might not even be the right word. I'm not a vocal expert, but that kind of like high range voice, it's been a little bit weak. But in this record, the most recent songs, when he's done that, they've had a bit more power to it, which I personally really like. So I did enjoy that. I like the way it built back up to that final chorus. I was pleased that they did have the same tempo again. They brought that energy back. Slight variation, like halfway through that last chorus, they went to a bit of halftime and then back into the normal tempo. So that was interesting. Some moments where what kind of beats were pushed, where they'd come and do the hit before the first beat of the bar. And I love that. That adds a bit of groove and life to songs and really lends itself to the catchiness of that chorus, which I fucking loved. I thought it was really strong. It might be that over time I learned to like that really relaxed pause they have in the middle before the last chorus. On first listen, I was strapped into the energy that they gave me, and I wanted to stay on that train, but that was not their plan. And I must respect them for the song they decided to write. But a lot of that I really loved. Okay, there's just 2 more songs that I've not heard yet off the record. They're the last 2 songs on it. This next one is called All the Love in the World, which sounds very sweet. And go! Okay. Woo! Okay, that's great. Lots of gaps in there. Oh, lovely chord. Really nice guitar chords. That reminds me of, oh, what the fuck are they called? Lower Than Atlantis, vocally, melody-wise. Oh, a lot of extra guitar layers came in then. Nice gap. Didn't have a ton of power to it for some reason, but I like a gap. Oh. The placement of the kick pedal. Ah, it's really purposeful. I like it. There's some similarities between the ends of his vocal melodies with other songs on this record where he's doing similar things. He was almost gargling that. Quite a complex whoa-oh melody. Something for the crowd to learn to sing at the concerts. Jumps around a lot. Lovely low sound there and the guitars. The sound overall reminds me of Bring Me the Horizon quite a bit. It's just got Sam Carter's voice, other than Ollie Sykes. Bring Me really lead the genre in that way. It's fat. That's really fat. Alrighty. Another decent song. I liked it. It reminded me a lot of, like the chorus there, it reminded me a lot of Bring Me the Horizon. Sonically, the whole mix, the production, the sound of the guitars and things, it was just the main lead vocal was quite different. Ollie Sykes and Sam Carter are very different voices. But the whole thing, and some of the melody choices as well, remind me a lot of what Bring Me were doing. Interesting that Bring Me the Horizon tend to lead the genre that they're in to the next kind of phase of that. So Architects are kind of going towards that sort of mainstream pop rock sort of world that Bring Me have been going towards as well. But, you know, I don't hate it. I think it's really nice. It's a good song overall. Some really lovely moments. There's some gaps in there where all the music cut out and came back in, which I liked. Some other songs are there where that's happened. A bit more power to them. Some really fucking nice guitar chords in there. Like there was one where it wasn't even like, they weren't heaviness. It was almost like something Nile Rodgers would do. There was a sort of brightness to the chord, an extra little note within it that gave it a dynamic I really liked. So that was cool. Yeah, some great moments in there. But again, it's quite, you know, quite similar to a lot of the other moments in the other songs for the most part, right? There's a couple of interesting things that they've diverged on in each song. But for the most part, there's a very similar pace and tempo to the song from this record, and makeup of how the structure goes, where the vocals are sitting, where they're coming out. So another decent song. Not, you know, hard to stand out from the pack of the other ones maybe, but one more to go, called Be Very Afraid. And I am very afraid that it might be very similar to some of the other songs already on this record. We'll see. And go. Hello. Started with a fire. System of a Down. Okay. Very Muse guitar and synth wise. This is one for the heavy fans. Yes. Oh! Like the rhythm of those guitar chords. Oh, little gaps in there too. Funky. I'm enjoying this. Wow. He just entered the Matrix. Oh. This is fantastic. Okay, another sedate little bridge breakdown, but there's something interesting about this one. Oh, the melody. Scream layers coming in. Ooh, break. Bit of a beatdown. Yeah. This is more the Architects I've loved in the past. Yeah, that's a cool vocal delivery. Is that Sam? Doesn't sound like Sam Carter. Okay, nice. Lovely, twisted into the scream. Love the ring out on that snare. Do it again, please. Not as much, but. Did they slow it down? Okay. A wood pigeon. We're gonna have 30 seconds of nature sounds. I think we are. I think that's exactly what we're gonna have here. I mean, it's very nice. I prefer some more heaviness, but that's okay. Alrighty then. And that was a gift to the metal fans of their past, who they knew would maybe not be as excited about the other songs on this record, because they're very sort of, dare I say, safe sort of pop rock songs. I mean, they're good. It's hard to write songs that are simple and effective. And so they've done a decent job. I'm not trying to shit on them, but they are very similar to each other. I don't know that it needed to have an 11-track album for that sound. It might have been better served as an EP with just you know, the real hard-hitting force impact songs that were on that record. But that's, yeah, it's just me. I loved that song a lot because it had some fucking heaviness. There was a lot of screams and some interesting, like, guttural, like almost spoken word, like vocal delivery from, I'm guessing it was Sam, but it sounded more like Ghostmate or something. That was cool, added an unusual element to it I've never heard them do before, which is exciting. Moments there where they're leading with the snare, I'm not really into that, but it kind of worked because it was different from the rest of the songs on the record. So I was like, you know what, I'm on board. And it had some good vocal melodies in there, nice choices, some gaps, some fatness. It was really, that was a good time. Right, I enjoyed that one. And that sort of leaves you with a happy taste in your mouth at the end of what is otherwise, as an album, I feel very mean being this critical about it, but because it's good, it's a good record, but I don't know that 5 years from now we'll be going like, oh man, what a record that was. It's sort of just gonna fit into the world song. Maybe like, oh yeah, some nice songs in there, what's next? It doesn't really stand out for me overall as an album compared to what some other artists these days are doing, which are far more imaginative, I think, and surprising and interesting. And I think they found things that they're good at in this current era of songwriting that they're doing, and they're really leaning into those things that they're good at, but it's all they're really leaning into, and they're losing some of that I don't know, creativity and variation and intrigue that I think they used to have and used to make them fucking awesome in my book. So that was a good record. I will enjoy listening to that on loop for a lot, I'm sure, because it's going to make really nice background music ultimately. And that's, whoa, fuck, I feel so horrible saying that. Part of me is like, maybe I should edit some of this stuff out, but that's just genuinely how I feel about it. You know, these are good songs. They're good on their own. Any one of these, if I heard nothing else, I'd be like, fuck, that's a great song. But all their new songs are kind of, the bar has been set by whatever the new sound they came out with is, and I'm comparing them all to that, and they're all of a very similar kind of level. There's a few standout ones. I thought Living is Killing Us stood out for me early on. That was a really decent song. Be Very Afraid, that last one, that was dope. Born Again Pessimist was a fucking great song. And the ones they released one by one, you know, they were good as well. I mean, they stood out a little bit more. Perhaps, you know, these are what they've clearly deemed to be the filler tracks from the album. They've not released them as individual singles and things. And for the most part, I think it reflects that. That was my take on it. But overall, it's a lovely sounding album. There's a few little moments that are surprising and interesting and creative that I enjoyed. A couple songs really stood out. It's been fucking great songs. But otherwise, you know, it's an Architects album in the new era that they're creating. And, you know, maybe it'll work great on the bigger stadium tours that I can see them coming up with soon. We'll see. But I'm hoping that, you know, when their next set of songs they come out with for the next album, they might have a little bit more of that screamy, dynamic element that they can do so fucking well. And I think makes them a better band than this record might be showing them too. This is showing them as good pop rock songwriters. But from them, because of how good they've been in the past and how interesting and how much they've stood out, my bar for them is higher than this record gave to me. My own personal interpretation. What did you think? Please let me know in the comments. I have no idea what anyone else thinks of this record so far. I've just heard this by myself. So let me know what you thought. I'd love to know what other opinions are on this album. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this and you want to see more things from me in the future, feel free to subscribe. Have a wonderful day, and maybe I'll see you in another video.